They were gonna try to stay cotton until it rained.
We'll make sure we fine him $10 or so.
He usually pulls that with me, I'll just tell him to take it out of his paycheck. These fair tickets. When is the fair start? Next weekend, I think.
So is that 2 or 3 minutes slow, that clock?
Could be.
Yeah, it's 5:01, I got.
Okay, the meeting of the Board of Ellis County Commissioners will now come to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Bobby, please note that Commissioner Neal and I are here, and Commissioner Hazelhorse is absent.
Okay.
Prior minutes, Commissioner, do you have any issues with prior minutes?
No, well put together.
Okay, minutes will stand as submitted. Consent agenda. Want to make a motion
I'll
for
make a
consent
motion
agenda?
to approve consent agenda, items A through G.
I will second that motion. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0. Any issues from persons not on the order of business? Okay, the next item is employee promotions. Bobby?
Bobby Dreiling, County Clerk. Brenda, do you want to come on up? I just want to introduce to you guys the clerk's 3/4 time position, but now full-time. Brenda Hoffman, she started in March of this year, and she has just got full-time as of last Monday.
Yes.
And she has started working her first payroll with Janet. So
Yep.
this is Brenda Hoffman.
Nice to meet you.
Brenda, are you having fun?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You enjoy it so far?
Oh,
They haven't
yes.
overwhelmed you?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well, that's good. We're glad to have you working for Ellis County.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
Okay, the environmental office move. Mason?
Good evening, Commissioners. Mason Reuter, Ellis County Environmental Planning Supervisor. First item I have for you this evening is the request for closing our office so we can move into the new office space out at the landfill. Justin and I from our office went out today to check on the progress. Looks like they only have a few minor things they have to finish doing. Put in the toilets, the sinks, flooring's in, doors are in. We have water, power, septic is set. Just a few things here and there that they're hoping to be done by the end of the week. So we requested next Wednesday, July 14th through July 16th to move. So we can get everything moved from here, in there, set up, and then tested with IT to make sure we're connected to the system and whatnot, and then reopen normal business hours on Monday and get back to normal.
Okay. You don't anticipate that would be an inconvenience to anyone?
No, Justin and I both have county cell phones that are direct linked to our phones, so people can still call. We can answer. We can still go out on inspections if need be. We just won't be able to input anything to the database right away.
Sure.
But it's nothing that would cause any disruption in any services provided. And we will put out a notification both on news media and on our county Facebook page as well.
Okay. Commissioner Neal, any comments, questions?
I'm glad you get to move out there. It's a nice
Okay.
building. I've looked at it a couple times. Nice facility.
Very excited.
Looking forward to the open house.
Yeah, it'll be very nice.
Mhm.
I've talked to Sarah Wassinger at the chamber to have something out there so the public can come see us at the new place and enjoy all the new stuff that's going to make it so much easier for people and whatnot to access the landfill in our office as we become one office.
Okay. Commissioner Neal, I move that we approve temporary closure of the Environmental Planning and Zoning Office to allow staff to move into the new office space at 1515 West 55th Street from July 14th through July 16th, 2021, to reopen at normal business hours on July 19th, 2021, at the new location.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Planning Commission appointment. Mason.
Evening again, still Mason Reuter, Environmental Planning Supervisor. So every 3 years, members on our planning and zoning boards terms come up for either reappointment or they decide they do not want to seek another term. This year we had Nathan Liker wish to be reappointed to his 3-year term, and then John Schulte has decided not to seek reappointment, which will leave 2 vacant positions open. We have 7 positions on the board. We did have on, I believe, Thursday or Friday of last week, citizen interest form turned in. Gentleman seems very excited to potentially be a part of this board.
Okay.
So I'll be bringing that before you next week to see if you would like him to join our group, which would only leave us 1 open position vacant on the board to move forward. So his first meeting, should you appoint him next week, would be our public hearing to adopt the new zoning regulations and comprehensive plan, which we're wrapping up as we speak. We're getting close to the finish line.
Okay. Commissioner, any comments, questions?
No, just,
Do I hear a motion from you?
yep. I move that Nathan Liker be reappointed to a 3-year term on the Joint Planning Commission and appointed to a new interesting individual to the other 3-year term effective July 12th, 2021.
I'll second that motion. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Thank you, Mason.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the Wic Agreement. Jason.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jason Kennedy, Ellis County Health Services Director. The first thing you see before you tonight is yearly we are required to sign the Wic Letter of Agreement. Basically, our Wic funds flow through a separate county. So this is an agreement of us with that county stating that we will service the Wic program and the clients here in Ellis County, and funding will come from them. Do you guys have any questions on that? It's kind of a standard agreement, no changes from the last few years. Dollar amounts are all pretty much the same and consistent.
It looks like the same contract I used to sign.
I think I'm not so sure that it's not. I'm not in the federal government wisdom. I'm not so sure they didn't just put some lines through something and jot a note. But no, it's a pretty standard agreement that's been in place for a long time. So
Is the grant money, is that an increase you were thought would be there, or is that more or less than you expected?
yeah, so we're allowed an incremental increase every year. We don't always max out that increase if it's not a necessity. We do try to maximize these funds for the public gain, and we don't get really a lot of money. It does help cover some of the costs of some of the personnel that service the Wic Agreement,
Sure.
but the vast majority of the money we do try to get out into the public with education and financial support for new moms and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we try to keep up with inflation is kind of our goal for increase, but that's about all we increase every year.
Okay. Commissioner, any questions or comments?
No, I know when I read through it, there's a lot of information in there, my lord.
Okay. I move the Ellis County Board of Commissioners sign and enter into an agreement with Osborne County for the purposes of fulfilling the requirements of the WIC program.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0.
All right. The next thing before you is actually, again, at the Health Department. This is actually kind of exciting, a little bit of a new direction that we haven't gone down with the Health Department. But it's a program called the Vax Care Program. And what in essence, what this program does is we have around $175,000 that we budget to purchase vaccines. We then administer the vaccines. We charge a small administration fee, and then obviously charge to cover the cost of the vaccine. We don't make a ton of money off of vaccines, but we do make some. What this program does is actually, in essence, we enter into an agreement with them. They own the vaccine. They provide us the vaccine. They provide us a hub portal, basically, that we utilize to access their network to actually look in patient records. And they also handle the billing side of the vaccines. In return, we get back an administration charge, and we don't have to carry the liability or the ownership of $175,000 worth of inventory that is sitting in a refrigerator over there. And so with projected revenues, what we have projected is we will actually return an additional $8,000 into the Ellis County Health Department budget, above and beyond what we would have got if we would have owned the vaccine, given the vaccine, billed for the vaccine. The dollar figure is less important to me than this program actually has over 30, they are in network with, I counted them earlier, it's over 30 different insurance companies that we are not in network as providers with. We are actually only in network with 2. And there's 2 big ones that I'm interested in, and that is Aetna and United Health. They service a lot of the public of Ellis County. What this program does is it puts us in network with those people so that their insurance will now pay to cover their vaccines. And right now we're not in that position. So this will put us competitive with actually all of the private pharmacies in town. Most of them utilize a similar program, a similar type setup, and are in network with a similar number of insurance providers. And it really just puts us in a position to provide a better service to the public at honestly no cost to the county, a reduction in $100 and some thousand in liabilities, and it also will return some profit, projected to return some profit over what we normally make. So I truly believe this to be a win-win for the public and for the county. So it is new to us. We did research it. There's several other health departments in the state that are using it. There's also a local clinic here in town that utilizes it. Everybody really had good reviews of the program, and it also provides us some interoperability and some technology that we wouldn't have or really be able to build on our own. They have some mobile platforms that when we go out to do flu shot clinics, we can actually scan their insurance stuff. We can scan their driver's license. We can scan everything, have it right there in one central hub that'll upload back to the office. So there's a lot of interoperability and technology that we generally wouldn't have. So I really think it's a good program. There will be a bit of a learning curve for us. It'll take around 60 days for us to get it up and running. And then they will actually purchase our current inventory, so we won't be out that. We also won't lose money on that purchase agreement. We'll break even. We won't really make much either, but we'll pretty much break even on current inventory. And then we're able to transition all of the ownership of that inventory going forward to them. So if something goes bad with the refrigerator, it's on them. If there's an increase in the cost of the vaccine, it's on them. It removes that line item really from a large majority of that line item from our budget.
Mm-hmm. Currently, you have what we would call private stock vaccine and state vaccine. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And you charge an administration fee for both of those?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. With your private stock vaccine, when you charge for the vaccine, or when Vax Care charges for the vaccine, do they keep that money?
So yes, on the private stock vaccine, we currently charge the cost of the vaccine and then an administration charge. What this program does is the Vax Care Program now, since they own the vaccine, they would charge for the cost of the vaccine. They retain that. They pay us. The patient, it ends up coming out of, the patient ends up paying to the patient's insurance company, but our check now comes from Vax Care.
Okay.
And our check is for the administration charge only. So we do not recoup anything from the vaccine cost.
Do they direct to you what that administration charge would be, or do you
Yeah.
get to set that?
Yeah, we do. They actually tell us what that administration fee will be.
Okay.
For each one, it's a little different. But at the end of the year, looking at our totals, that's where we have that projected improvement in our profit of about $8,000. And the reason for that is that our charges don't always, because we're not private, because we are public, there's some limitations to us changing our charges overnight, yet the cost of the vaccine changes overnight. So a lot of times our administration charge actually covers the cost of some of the vaccine. And with their company, that doesn't happen. We just get our administration fee, and it's guaranteed. The patient also will know ahead of time. This program will check ahead of time. The patient will know going into it what their responsibility is going to be, how much they owe, how much they don't. It will tell us right there on that hub. We'll be able to tell the patient, hey, that you're going to get a bill from Vax Care. It's completely covered. You won't pay anything, or you might have a $20 copay or something like that. And we're also able to, we are still able, if there's unique situations, which, as you run into stuff where this doesn't always work.
Sure.
We actually will be able to go ahead and administer a vaccine from Vax Care, and they will remove it from our inventory, and we can pay for it separately. So if we have a patient that just something's not working, but we want to get them vaccinated, we do still have some availability. The vaccine will still be in our office. We still have the availability to do some of that.
Okay.
And then we'll always have the public vaccine, basically. We'll still have that program, which actually Vax Care is looking at contracting with the state for the state-owned vaccines. They're looking at contracting with them as well and working on a program to where everything basically would run through the Vax Care program, which would be kind of nice because our inventory management would all be taken care of through that program as well.
Well, I think one thing the public isn't aware of is just how complicated vaccine management is. Because it's extremely complicated. There's a whole bunch of vaccines. You got expiration dates on everything. And you use the wrong vial out of line, and you're looking at something going bad on you. There's just a lot of issues involved with vaccines. So if this simplifies it, I think it's very innovative. I'm sure in favor of giving it a try.
It has some built-in safety checks. It has some additional redundancy with those safety checks that you talk about, and it really does have a really good inventory management portal because that's how they ship us the vaccine. So there's preset limits. When we get down to a certain limit, it will automatically pull from inventory if they're out of date. So there's a lot of things that their technology can do now, that their program can do that we currently don't have. So I think all in all, it's a good program. And even with the state vaccine, this program will search to see if people are eligible for the state vaccine. So I actually think we're going to be able to get more people free vaccines with this program than what we currently
Okay.
can.
Commissioner Neal, any questions or comments?
This Vax Care, how long has that been around? I mean, is it something just new, or has it been around?
So I will tell you, I knew nothing about this program. Our staff at the health department found this. They came to me with this program. They said, hey, this is really neat. This is going to be cool. Staff has researched all of this. They've looked into it. They've visited other clinics. They've done a phenomenal job. I think Vax Care has been around for a few years. We looked at it actually when I first took over, right prior to COVID. We actually looked at the agreement, had the agreement approved. Bill actually took a look at it, and then I'll be honest, COVID hit, and we didn't do anything in our office as far as changes, or we just focused on COVID. So we looked at this program a year ago, and it's almost been good that we've waited, because everything that they promised me a year ago that wasn't currently working or was in their beta test, that they said, hey, we're gonna fix that, we're gonna get it done. They have fixed it, and they have done it. And so it at least speaks well for the company that through all this, they have made improvements, and they've got some really neat tech out there that I think will work well.
Do they guarantee you flu vaccine?
Yeah. So they, well, as you know, we pre-order all the flu vaccine. We just kind of take a shot that we're going to need this much. We try to base it off the historical evidence. They will not only guarantee us that, but they also will provide, if we're going to do a flu shot clinic, and let's say we think we're going to need, maybe 400 doses more than what we normally, we give them a heads up a few days ahead of time. They'll ship it to us. They'll have it on site ready to go for that flu shot clinic. And then if we don't end up using it, they'll take it back. So they're pretty flexible with what they offer, and they're willing to work with you to make sure that you get the vaccines. Obviously, it's in their best interest for us to give more vaccine.
I know historically, we would order flu vaccine. You never knew when you were going to get it and how much you were going to get. And sometimes it didn't make it in time for a clinic, and sometimes you were just competing with other providers in the community for it. So it was always a real challenge around flu vaccine time.
It is, and we still struggle with that. The good thing about this is economies of scale. They're going to be higher in line than we are for their shipment of vaccine because of the number of order because they ordered for nationwide.
Sure.
And so hopefully it will stabilize some of that and allow us some access to vaccines that we might not have had or sooner.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, just thank you and your staff for doing this and looking out for the community like that.
I think it's worth trying.
Yep.
I move that the Ellis County Board of Commissioners approve and direct the Ellis County Health Services Director, Jason Kennedy, to sign and enter into a service agreement with the Vax Care Company.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a county administrator report. Darren.
Did Fletcher already sign that Wic Agreement, or do I need to give him one to sign?
She's got it right there. No, sir. As you know, I was on vacation, so I'm still playing catch-up, so I have no report.
Okay, just so you had fun. And
Yes,
you
I did.
Came back refreshed, ready to wrestle the alligator.
Yeah, I'm not almost so refreshed. I think I need a short vacation from the vacation, but it's better.
I understand. Okay, county commissioner reports. Commissioner Younger.
Also, I want to add that we went and prayed for the 4th of July on Saturday there, and there was a lot of people. I was impressed. A lot of people. Turned out good.
That's good.
Other than that, no.
Okay, and I have no report. So, and there's no executive sessions. So with no further,
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Did we have any fires due to fireworks or that you know of?
We had several fireworks-related incidents, both medical and fires. So a couple in Ellis, a couple in Hayes. And then Jason may be able to speak for him. I know some of them that I've heard were not necessarily called into EMS. They were privately transported, but I know there was a couple serious injuries. So unfortunately, this year is a little different than the prior years in the past. But fire-wise, nothing significant.
okay, if there is no other business, the meeting will adjourn at 5:23. Yeah, that was fast and easy.